Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, my brothers and sisters. Welcome to another edition of our Good Morning Grief Devotional. It's your boy, Pastor Corey Allen Duncan Sr. So excited and ecstatic and elated to have this wonderful opportunity to lead you today. And yet another grief devotional. This is indeed the day that the Lord has made. He has commanded us to rejoice and to be glad in it. We are grateful for this forum. Y'all, this is the daily grief devotional that is strategically designed to help you to navigate through your grief one day at a time. What is grief? I'm so glad you asked. Grief, my brothers and sisters, it is the natural and normal response to loss, change, and transition that results in the expressions of feelings and emotion. Grief is what you feel on the inside. Mourning is how it is expressed on the outside. Therefore, we don't suppress our feelings, but we express our feelings. And that's why we say, good morning, good morning, hey, good morning, because morning is a good thing. Look, thank you for joining us on today. Hope you navigated through that Father's Day successfully. I know many of you are mourning your fathers, grandfathers, husbands, sons, brothers who were fathers. And so I hope you're able to navigate through that successfully, meaningfully, strategically, in a healthy fashion, in a healthy manner. So thank you for joining us today. Excited about our devotional lesson on today. Let's see. Come on, let's get into it. Our grief quote today says, laugh. Laugh as much as you can. Laugh until you cry. Cry until you laugh. Keep doing it, even if people are passing you on the street saying, I can't tell if that person is laughing or crying. But either way, they seem crazy. Let's walk faster. Emote. It's okay. It shows you are thinking and you are feeling. I love that word, emote. Emote, which means to show emotion. Emote shows that you are thinking and that you are feeling. That's actually the title of today's devotional. We're going to talk about emote, right? Emote, which simply means, again, to show emotion. Show emotion. Emote. Come on. Without further ado, let's get it going. Do you ever wonder what would happen if we were all encouraged and trained from a young age to keep showing our emotions and expressing our every thought, just as we did when we were little? To never start filtering. Wow. Would life be different? There would be some TMI, too much information going on, that's for sure. But there would also be honesty, transparency, and truth. I think this is so very true. Pause one time for the one time. Um, if we were taught to emote, if we were taught to show your feelings, show your emotions, keep going, right? There would be transparency, there would be some truth. We would be so much more healthy, right? But we start filtering things, we start holding back, we start picking up and catching unhealthy manners, mannerisms that people utilize when it comes to grief and mourning. So we don't fully do what we need to do, right? But I just imagine in every situation and circumstance, if we were trained to emote, to show your feelings, go ahead, express yourself personally, among family, on the job, different places. If we were able to really show and express our feelings, I wonder how things would be. But because we live in a culture and society that tells you to suppress it, that tells you to quit crying, before I give you something to cry about, dry up them tears, don't show emotion, be hard, climb the corporate ladder of success, cutthroat. We live in a culture that goes against expressing and feeling and showing your emotions, right? And so that it begins to affect every area of our life because we don't emote. We become people who suppress, we don't express. We become people who are not true to feeling our real, raw, and relevant emotions. We hold them in instead of expressing them outward. Now, what if we were also taught to actively listen and to empathize with others, to bear witness to their pain, to be with and accept them no matter what? I believe life on earth would be utterly transformed. Y'all could just imagine that for a moment, if you will. What if this was definitely the mindset? If we were taught to actively listen, if we were taught to empathize with others, if we were taught to bear witness to their pain, to be with and accept them no matter what. Yeah, life would be utterly transformed. Our marriages would be transformed. Our lives would be transformed. The way people deal with grief and mourning would be transformed if we actively listen, if we were with people, if we walk with them and help them to be bearers of their pain. Life would be totally different. But unfortunately, we don't live in such a world. But one by one, y'all, we can claim our right to emote. One by one, we can claim our right to emote, to show our emotions, and to have empathy for others' emotions. It's good for us, and it's good for our world. This is what you got to know and understand. Even if that's not the norm for the culture, even if that's not the norm publicly, one by one, the same way we deal with grief day by day, look, one by one, not only can we put into practice the opportunity and the power and the ability to emote, right? To show our emotions. But we can also sit with others. We can also empathize with the emotions with others. And that's what I love about it. And that's what I really get excited about, because even if it's not relevant in the culture, even if the culture's not doing it, this community, this virtual community, we can start with each other. And if we do it one by one, that's how we can begin to effect change in our society. One by one, we can claim our right to emote, to have empathy for others' emotions. It's good for us. It's good for our world. Here's the final thought. I can laugh when I feel like laughing and cry when I feel like crying. No matter the feeling, guess what? I can emote. I can laugh when I feel like laughing. I can cry when I feel like crying. No matter the feeling, I can emote. Today is day 170, and we're talking about emoting. Amen. Look, I hope and pray in some type of way. Let me go back to my screen. Look, I hope you got something out of that. The power of this devotion is just showing you the power to emote. Show your feelings. If you feel like laugh, laugh. If you feel like cry, cry. Own, sit in that moment, right? As you navigate through grief, it's not linear. It can be all over the place. Whatever you feel, embrace that emotion. Sit in that moment. Feel what you need to feel as you navigate through this thing called grief. Look, I hope and pray it was a blessing to you. I hope and pray that you are continuing to navigate through this thing called grief in a meaningful manner, that you're not just grieving, but that you are also mourning, expressing outwardly what you feel inwardly. So take that to heart today. Let that be your lesson. Emote, emote, emote. It's Pastor Corey Allen Duncan Sr. I love y'all with the love of the Lord. That's the word for the day. Emote. God bless you.